We my
always
glasses.
There we go.
I'm getting old, man.
There we go. We always start out
there we go. I was like, where's the red line there? Hey, welcome everyone to the Crypto and Cash podcast. This is where you're going to get information that is basic, where you can understand what's going on from two guys that are really we love crypto and we just want to pass on our expertise. I am Uncle Dan Everett, and we have the famous Bret over there. Bret is the man. He is really a knowledgeable person when it comes to crypto, far more than.
I can say that I'm famous in my own mind, if that counts.
That's what my wife tells me.
Someone's got to love me.
Hey, man, but you're going to hear about it too. Oh my God! Well, welcome everyone.
That comes with a price, my friend.
That's right. I feel your pain on that. Well, welcome everyone.
Yeah. How was your week, Dan? Did you have a good week?
I had an awesome week. I have been so busy. I am super busy, and
what you said earlier, you're just flying all over, huh?
Yeah, man. My other vertical, which is the employee retention tax credit, there's a lot of business. Most businesses don't even know a lot about it.
Talk about that quick, because you were telling me about that, and when you're kind of telling me about it, it sounded like
what it is.
Really good opportunity, but just go through that again, man.
All right. Well, what it is, back in 2020, the Congress introduced the CARES Act, and the CARES Act was to help. Remember the stimulus where we all got so much per in one time as individuals. Yeah, but really, it was great, free money, but really it was based for small businesses, because small businesses, they're the ones that really run this country. And so that being the case, they introduced what's called the PPP loan, which most small business owners got through their bank. It was easy to do, very limited application process. And you basically, you figure out the formula. They would tell you how much you qualify for. They basically cut you a check. And then some of those people were, some of it was forgiven, some of it was not. But there was another part of the CARES Act through Congress, and that was ERC, which actually stands for Employee Retention Tax Credits.
Okay.
So that being the case, what that said is the government is going to, bottom line, they're going to give you back your payroll taxes through periods from 2020 and 21, plus other bonuses. There's a formula where an employer can get up to $26,000 per employee, which
really?
This is money you do not have to pay back to the government.
So so this is just a government grant that's already just sitting there, or what?
Yeah, the money's sitting. It's already earmarked. It's just sitting there. So business owners don't know how to do it. Pardon me?
Who qualifies?
I couldn't hear you.
Do you have to have a certain number of employees or something?
We go down to as many as one. But it can't be the business owner. But we do 1 to 500 employees.
Okay.
So again, it's a really awesome program, and the whole thing is, getting the word out to small business owners, because that's what.
So they get this back on like tax deductions. Is that how they get it back?
Well, no, they're going to be filed. There's going to be an amended 941 tax return. Okay. That's going to be filed by. It has to be done by people that understand clearly, a CPA firm that knows what it's doing, because there are people out there trying to file them and they don't really have the expertise or the knowledge, and they can get back limited money. But, like the company I'm with, they use AI, artificial intelligence, to actually go in and, along with the CPAs, to go in and analyze exactly to the dollar how much a business owner is going to get. Average refund for business owner is about $200,000 if you have approximately 10 employees. Up to 200,000. It could be a little more. It just depends. I mean, I have a friend of mine that has a flooring company in the Bay Area. He's got 11 stores. He just got back $3 million. So, oh yeah, sweet, man. It's like hitting the lottery.
Wow.
So we're just kind of trying to help.
Yeah, man. Well, who doesn't? If you qualify, why would you not take advantage of it? I mean, that's a great product. Yeah,
and then guess what? And then you have, if you wanted to, put some money into crypto or into the stock market or into whatever. But I need to qualify that we are not financial planners. We are educators. everything we talk about is for education, and on top of education, it is also for entertainment. Need to get that disclaimer out there, but bottom line is that opens up a lot of doors to set up things for your family down the road. So just depending, again, that's a whole other conversation, but that's the guidelines or of the actual program. So
Cool.
yeah, man, I'm
You've been
enjoying it.
busy with that, man. So it sounds like quite a few people qualify for it. You've been
Absolutely.
it out,
There's a formula. It's very easy to simply. We do it online.
Cool.
I can a business owner know within 10 minutes how much they qualify for. It's pretty awesome.
How would you not?
Yeah,
They should hit you up.
Absolutely. So
you wanted to talk a little bit about also as well inflation.
Man, it's crazy.
Good times of inflation are amongst us.
Man, it's just, everybody knows about inflation. My wife paid $10 for 18 eggs yesterday. I'm like, get out of here. Are you crazy? And partial of that is, they say the Fed, they keep raising the rates to fight inflation. But, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Fed or what they're doing right now. I think that, they're starting to get a little handle on it, but they keep raising the rates. So, inflation's still at a 40-year high.
And that's kind of where the Fed's at right now. So their job is to kind of predict where things are going to go and act with what's happening and fine tune the market as best as they can, right?
Absolutely.
So the Fed's never been in a situation before where they are right now, where they've basically had a 40 or 50-year unemployment low, but then inflation, the highest it's been in 4 years. Like that's never coincided with each other before ever.
That's crazy.
So on one hand, we have inflation. We can see it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, a lot of the numbers say we're not. Or the indicators, like low unemployment, 50-year low unemployment. How's that fit in to inflation?
Yep. It's just
strange. It's strange times, man. It's strange times.
It's weird.
Before.
Absolutely weird, man. But they're varying opinions on what's going to happen with the economy. A lot of experts are saying, look out by the fourth quarter 2023, the country's going to be in trouble. We don't know.
It's like anything. Like you ever watch every morning, I watch CNBC.
Right.
And it's kind of comical, I guess, at certain times when you watch them, because I've seen them go from all of the second half of last year,
right,
and into December and beginning of January, middle of January, saying how we're not going to go inflation, but look at this, we're going into it, and how can you say that we're not, and all these indicators. And now the past month, everything's starting to go back up. And I think it'll probably go in between up and down like this a little bit. But regardless, now you see a reverse course. Well, we are starting to get back out of recession now, and things are starting to pick back up. And are we starting to go back to the highs that we've had before? It's just, I know that they're there to entertain and to sell the drama in a sense. But,
right.
Opinions are, what do they say? Like,
do they
everyone
really?
has one.
hey, Bret, do they really know? Do they really know?
No, man. They, I don't know.
Because a lot of times, when you hear different opinions, is they don't put a lot of different things into the calculation to tell you exactly, what it is, like different factors. So it's just kind of like,
right. It's selective factors. That's the problem. Which is the internet is what it is, right? So you can find an answer for anything you want to find an answer to.
Yep.
If you search for it on the internet.
Yeah.
The great thing about the internet is we possess all this information, and the bad thing about the internet is we possess all this information.
Yeah, you're right about that.
To the point where we're better suited off given 2 or 3 choices versus 10. 10 choices
absolutely
we freeze up,
So. It's just, it's so many different factors like consumer demand, and things like that, manufacturing offshore, what's going on. It's just different demands that the average person doesn't have a clue about. And, we hear about it ourselves, but we don't know exactly how it's affecting it. But all I know is when I go to the grocery store, my bill is always, I look up and how much is my bill? What did I buy? $50. What did I get for $50?
Isn't it crazy? Man. I mean, literally you buy 4 or 5 items. And it's $50. I mean, and then if you go out to eat, it's even more.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't even get me started on like DoorDash or something where, I mean, you're literally paying 40% more for a meal by the time you have the service fee and then tip and then a tax. And it's just, no matter what way you go about it, you just
Bret,
can't eat. Yeah.
Hey, Bret, I refuse to participate. I am not paying that extra fee. I'm
not
lazy where I can just go drive up, order it, and go pick it up. I'm fine with it. When I look at the fee that they're going to charge me.
I know I can't do it.
No,
I know we all spend. I know we all excuse the way that we spend money, like in different ways. Like I know people very successful, and some people won't spend any money on clothes, but they'll go out with a car and they'll just buy whatever. Like it's just all how you justify it in your mind. Yes. That's something I cannot justify. I can't do it. But point being is, no matter what route you take, even if you're going to the grocery store, 4, 5, 6 items, $45, $50.
And that really is crazy. That really relates back to what we talked about in the first show when it comes to cryptocurrency. And because what's a lot of people are Fed pay, the digital dollar, it's all coming. And so how is that going to affect just the average person? A lot of people are going to get hurt.
Well, so here's the way it's kind of being handled right now, which is there was no regulation. And so now the Fed wants to come in, Johnny lately with regulation, which they should have a long time ago. And I have no problem with regulation, other than the fact that they always overcorrect. Correct. It was the same thing when we had the housing crash in 07, 08. So then the Fed comes out with a bunch of new laws that way overcorrected things that were completely, some were worthwhile, but some were just excess of no point other than showing it,
You mean like the mortgage business, which I had to exit because of all the rules and regulations?
Like look at Trigger Law right now, which is if a buyer goes to sign loan docs, they have to disclose these docs 3 days ahead of time now by law. I mean, the buyer could look at the loan docs and look at the numbers and approve of them, which they're going to approve them because it's not the first time they're seeing their numbers.
Right.
But regardless, approve of it, which they can do in 5 minutes, but the government says no, they need 3 full legal days before you can even take any action to have them close on that.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
So
it's like
things like that, which I understand why it was in place, because so it is less of a lender trying to pull one over on you and slip, because that happened a lot during the housing crash, man. You show up for closing and all of a sudden the lender's got all these BS things attached to it, this and that, a lot of shady ones.
Right.
And you're ready to close and you're doing no money down anyways and and needing a loan, no income, no asset. You don't care, right? You're just, so regardless, it was supposed to help with that. So I get the general point of it, but 3 days, like people don't need 3 days to look at a document that they've looked at 100 times before and they know what their costs are.
Is that on a purchase? Is that on a purchase?
On a home loan for purchase.
Oh, it used to be 3-day rescission period on a refi. I get that, but I didn't know purchases. You sign a doc.
Well, you have three. Yeah, I mean, they by law they have 3 days. So it point being is this, which is it doesn't matter if the buyer looks at it and says okay in 5 minutes. The federal government says no, it can't be any sooner than 3 days.
Right.
Which is kind of over-redundant, but whatever, point being. So anyways, yeah, I mean, kind of where the government's at right now, which is they've had no regulation with government. Now they're starting to bring in regulation because, well, half the lawmakers that want regulation now are the same ones that are made look a fool because they're the ones that took money from Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So now they I returned the money, but regardless, they still did what they did, but they're trying to not look bad anymore. So now again, they want to bring twice the force and overdo things for what? So now they're just kind of like pulling random things and going after it. So what they're doing now is trying to go after stable coins. And if people don't know what stable coins are cryptocurrency coins, but they're basically pegged to the US dollar. Okay. So, the government doesn't need to, if the government is trying to install and create their own crypto digital currency, they're not going to have to worry about competition at this point anyways from Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies, because they know the public's viewpoint of that is that it's all over the place and it fluctuates and there's manipulation and whatever it is. But if you're going to try to create your own digital currency for a government, your digital currency, the best or closest competition you would have right now would be stable coins, because stable coins are supposed to be pegged to the US dollar. Mm-hmm. So there's no fluctuation up and down. But they have the same use cases and fluctuation and low fees and fluidity of cryptocurrency, but you're able to do that with basically what's something that's pegged by the US dollar. So now you're seeing the government go after these exchanges that created their own stablecoin. But to be fair, a lot of these cryptocurrency exchanges with their own stablecoins are supposed to be backed by assets that equate to a US dollar. So say they have, $1 billion in stablecoin worth of stablecoins, they're supposed to supposedly have $1 billion worth of assets to back that up. They don't want to or are taking their time showing the assets that they have behind that, which doesn't make them look good, right? So that just adds more fuel to the fire of the government, but that's kind of where they're at right now, is going after the stable coins.
Hey, Brett, isn't that kind of ironic? Because the way the government's been printing money, if they have their own coin, which is, we know is coming, what do they really have the backing on their own coin?
They don't. So that's the whole thing, dude. They're creating their own cryptocurrency that they want, that they shame on and say it's poison and all this other crap. And that's essentially what they're going to do. Like, listen, people don't understand. It doesn't matter if you're hitting a printing press or you're putting it just digitally online. All digitally online means there's no more cash in the system. So they can literally control your money that they created. And now you're like, okay, well, they can come in and freeze your bank account. They can do whatever it is, but you can still have cash. And since the US dollar is being printed with no backing behind gold,
right?
Just carry on digitally, man. Same story, different party.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, man,
But now they'll be able to control you. Don't even get me started. What you'll be able to do with that.
That's what you call a monopoly, big time. My God.
You've got the rest of the world that's slowly coming into the picture, and it's not a matter of, to me, it's not a matter of is the U.S. going to adopt Bitcoin, or are they going to incorporate it, or are they going to do this and that, or whatever it is. It's a matter of they're not going to have a choice eventually, I think.
Yeah. I agree.
I just think it doesn't matter. They're not going to have a choice. So
yeah, it's what people forget. It's not just the United States. It's a world economy now.
It's a world.
That's
We're becoming more global by the day.
Yep, it's global, even though, the purists in the USA don't want to hear that. But it's true. It is what it is. And we just have to go with the flow. And,
we need to find how we can maneuver within that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I've always had it the same way, like I run my businesses, which is I have a game plan, but everything happens in everything, in every situation, to everybody. So it's really how you react. And so let me see what the pieces are and what I have to deal with, and then I can devise things around there. Same thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to know where your platform is, though.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad we're in the financial world, so we kind of understand that, But again, the whole purpose of this show is to educate the people who are not in the financial world or partially in the financial world, so they can get a good understanding of what's going on out there. Because I tell you, man, in another year or two, things are going to be really different the way it operates. We operate in the United States. I think, isn't the Fed now coin and coming out in July?
I don't know.
That's what they say. That's what I've heard, but I don't know.
Has that government ever done anything on time? But thank you. I'll be in town all week.
Yeah. I totally agree with you there. Totally agree with you.
No, I mean supposedly July.
Well, we're almost in March. The case with the XRP is supposed to happen, and they're supposed to make a decision on that coming up in March. So
yeah, but this XRP Ripple. How many times have they been? It's going to get settled.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they've been saying that I guess because I'm crypto Twitter. I'm on Twitter a lot, and a lot of the crypto community's on there. So
right,
the XRP army on there, they call the Ripple army. Those guys like every day. Oh, the case is getting settled today. It's getting settled today. And they've been saying that for like 2 years.
2 years, exactly right, exactly right.
Anyway,
well, we'll go with the flow. I think the crypto market is up today. I think I saw a
man.
I think it was up quite a bit.
Is it?
I think it was. I saw an email with
it went above 25,000 again. I think it's it's right around 25,000. So it went down to 21,000. Right back up. Yeah,
well, maybe it's stabilizing a little bit. We don't
I think what was it? I was reading an article that I think it's 80% of the people that own Bitcoin right now have been holding it.
Wow.
So all the trading like down to the 15,500, whatever it is, that whole time, even up to now, like 80% of all the people holding that own Bitcoin have been holding it.
Hey man, one of my mentors and partners in the ERC space, he's holding on to 30,000 Bitcoin. Teddy, 30.
He paid it. He bought it.
I'm sorry, 3,000 Bitcoin.
He has 3,000 Bitcoin
that he bought for under $1. Yeah, this is a guy that I
not $3,000 worth. He has
3,000 Bitcoin.
Are you serious?
It's crazy. I was like, hey man, can you please adopt me, please? I wouldn't, just
3,000, dude.
That's right.
Say 24,000 right now.
Yep. How much is that? Yep.
Bro, 72 million.
Woo.
Tell him we need to hang out.
Hey man, like I said, just adopt me. Just give me a few of, just give me like 1,000.
Wow. Well, that's there. You go. I mean, honestly, what's at that point? What's it matter to that guy if it goes down to 2,000? Who cares, dude?
It doesn't care. Must be nice, right?
Well, there's a few of them still of them out there.
Yeah.
People need to understand that a lot of people say, because I know a few people who bought it in 2011, 2012 for 25 cents, for 50 cents. Wow. And everybody says, oh, they must be completely loaded. No, because it doesn't work like that. Because if you bought it for 25 cents and it got to $5, you sold it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Sure. Yep.
I mean, because nothing in that history in like a 2-year period or whatever has ever gone from like 25 cents to $5, let alone, hey, I bought something at 25 cents and within 10 years it's going to go to 65,000. I mean, that's never happened, right?
Never.
So people need to understand that, which is most of those people sold it a long time ago.
Yep. Yeah, they did. Absolutely.
Yeah. So go
ahead.
Go ahead, Dan. On you.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to wrap things up.
Well, hey, let's just wrap it up because I think it's a holiday today, and a lot of people, if you're watching live, we want to give you time to get back to your family. Hey, thank you very much for taking the time to get informed with the Crypto and Cash Show, and we will see you in about 2 weeks. Bret, I will get you that information tomorrow or tonight, and we'll rock and roll.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.
Thank you.